Alright, it's time for some Super Mario Brothers 2 Super Mario Brothers 2 Game of the Year. Super Mario Brothers 2. What is good, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Backlog project, where we play through a gigantic list of games to find out which of them is worth putting onto your backlog. Got a game you'd like to see on the show? Check the description of the video to take part in our weekly poll, where you get to decide the next game I'll review. Super Mario Bros. 2 won the poll by quite a margin, and it's been crowned Game of the Year by video game connoisseur videogamedunkey for over 10 years in a row now, so this has got to be some next level experience. Get ready for running, jumping, swimming, and stomping, Koopas. Maybe we'll even get to fly. I was so wrong. You ready for a quick history lesson? Super Mario Bros. 2 is basically a reskinned and slightly altered version of the Japanese exclusive Doki Doki Panic, which itself is based on an early prototype of a new Super Mario game developed by Tanabe Kensuke, who is nowadays known for producing series such as Metroid Prime, The Legend of Zelda, and Paper Mario. The prototype was considered lacking for a Mario game, so it got turned into Doki Doki Panic. Think about it. Super Mario Bros. 2 is based off a game made from a scrapped prototype for Super Mario Bros. 2. Funny how life works sometimes. Now, why did I tell you this? Because it's information you need to know to understand why the game is so different from the original Super Mario Bros. Although you probably already knew, it's not exactly a big secret. Anyways, the game looks very different, like completely different, not sharing any similarity except for the main character different. That's not to say the graphics aren't significantly improved, because they are. Everything is way more colorful and detailed. Heck, Mario even looks like a human now. For an NES game, the title also runs pretty well, only experiencing slowdowns in a few select areas with a lot of enemies. In terms of music, Super Mario Bros. 2 offers a few pretty tight tracks, 6 to be exact, not counting the remade tracks from the first game. Of these, 2 are songs that loop within 10 seconds, 1 is for the final boss, and 1 for the ending. So yeah, the tracks are good, but there really isn't a lot here. Gameplay-wise, this game has almost nothing to do with its predecessor. Sure, it's still a 2D platformer, but that's where the similarities stop. The main focus here isn't clearing tightly laid out levels or jumping on enemies' heads to defeat them. In fact, jumping on enemies just makes you stand on them. Rather, this game is kind of a platforming puzzle hybrid in which you can grab enemies, items, and even your fellow players in multiplayer mode from below you and throw them to defeat enemies and clear obstacles. The whole game revolves around this feature, making for a laid-back gameplay experience in which you try to find your way to the exit by building towers to climb high ledges, or finding keys to open locked doors. Super Mario Bros. 2 also features a health system now. Well, it kinda did before, but now it's indicated by an actual bar. You have 2 HP. Getting hit not only reduces your HP to 1, it also decreases your size. You can find mushrooms that will raise your maximum HP to 3 for the remainder of the level, but having 3 HP doesn't increase your size. An even bigger Mario, that would be ridiculous. Another new feature is the ability to play different characters and switch between them in between levels, with each of them having unique abilities. Obviously, you can play as Mario. He's just as you know him, well balanced, with basically most of the game being designed around him. He doesn't really have any special abilities, but he also has no real weaknesses. Luigi is back, and this time he doesn't just feel floatier than his brother, he actually floats. When Luigi jumps, his legs swivel and let him stay in the air longer. He can can also jump higher than his brother, but is slower. A new addition is Toad, who was formerly known as the "Your princess is in another castle" asshole. He is the fastest of all characters, as well as being able to pull up items and enemies faster than the others. Our last addition to the roster is Princess— what the fuck is that? Why does she look like some cursed creepypasta, and what's with her eyes? Okay, let's calm down. This is Princess Toadstool, and her ability is being able to hover in midair, allowing her to avoid a lot of enemies and even outright skip some sections by jumping over large gaps that other characters have to work around. One more addition to the game is the super jump, and it's pretty easy to pull off. You just hold down on the D-pad. Oh my god, the demon is back! And why is she black now? Every level in Super Mario Bros. 2 ends with a boss fight against some variation of Birdo, who will spit eggs at you that you can pick up and throw at her. The only levels that don't are the last of each of the 7 worlds, which feature different bosses, some of which get reskinned once until you fight the evil Wart, the final and by far most stupid boss of the game. These bosses are actually pretty fun, but don't really provide any challenge except for Wart. This is true for the rest of the game, being very easy until you get to the last world and are suddenly swarmed by enemies and constantly confronted with tight jumps. Okay, so before we get to my verdict,
I will eat your soul.
Sorry if that scared you. She somehow possessed this video and I just can't get rid of her. If you enjoyed the review so far, you can really help me out by giving it a like so it can spread to a few more people, and maybe Dunkey can see this review on Super Mario Bros. 2. Super Mario Bros. 2. In all honesty, Super Mario Bros. 2 is actually a pretty good NES game. It's just kind of a shit Mario game. It doesn't share any of what made the first game so fun and memorable, and the unique things it does have are just not that interesting to design a game around. The only reason to slog through this is to see which characters originated from it and understand references in future Mario games. I don't think anybody will shame you if you skip this entry, even if it is the only game in the world to win Game of the Year for over 10 years straight. But this is just my take on this experimental Mario title, and opinions aren't worth crap if they aren't challenged. So let me know your take on Super Mario Bros. 2 down in the comments. I'd love to read them. Also, come join me on the live streams I do every Monday and Friday sometime, and we can talk about games and other stuff while we play the games you voted for in the polls. Heck, I might even be live right when you're watching this, so what are you waiting for? Thank you very much for watching, and remember to always keep that backlog rolling.